Hello, I am Alexis Galadriel of Galadriel's Goods, and today I'm going to be making for you a summertime dessert, something that's cool, light, and mostly everybody loves. We're gonna do a summer berry cobbler. So if you're looking for something that's, kind of light, refreshing, and something that screams summer, something you can take to the cookouts, the barbecues, the celebrations, the pool parties, whatever, this is the perfect dessert, okay? And you don't have to feel overly guilty because plenty of fruit in it. The berries that I've chosen to make this cobbler with are blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, and strawberries. Altogether, you want about 8 cups of fruit. Already looks refreshing. Next, you always, anytime I make a cobbler or pie, anything dealing with fruit, I always add a little bit of lemon juice. And you want to put about 1 teaspoon of lemon juice. Just spray. So you also want to take a ½ teaspoon of vanilla. My favorite vanilla, you can use any vanilla you want to, but I'm just gonna tell you now, more than likely if you have one of my desserts, I'm using Mexican vanilla. It's my favorite. I like a little spice in my fruit desserts. Fruit has flavor all on its own, and this is totally optional. A lot of people don't really add anything beyond sugar to their fruit desserts. I like to add a little spice. I think it makes it very nice. So we're gonna put 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, and just wait till you see what it adds to it. It's gonna be yummy. And just a pinch of nutmeg. You do not want to overdo it on the nutmeg, just a pinch. Cornstarch, because it's gonna help the fruit thicken. A cobbler, you don't want a watery cobbler. It's gonna thicken it up a little bit. And of course, because sometimes berries can be bitter and be a little sour and everything, you want to make sure you're getting, some sweetness in this. So we're going to use 1/4 cup of sugar. You don't really need too much because between all the different berries, you're going to get plenty of sweetness. So once you have everything sprinkled over the fruit, next take your spatula and just lightly coat it. Now you don't want to be too heavy-handed while you're stirring everything because some of the berries will just fall apart. So once you got that covered, and like I said, you can tell everything's nice. All right, so we're gonna put that to the side. Again, my favorite spray is Baker's Joy, and this is how you prep your pan. Just spray it, give it a good coating because you don't want anything sticking. Once you got your pan already sprayed with your Baker's Joy or whatever non-stick coating, then you want to get your berries and just pour them in there. Now I go and I scrape the bowl to get all the yumminess. Now, sometimes I do like a crust, or sometimes I do something of a biscuit crust. Now, in my family, as my mother will tell you, the crust is everything. We don't do minimal crust. We like a lot of crust with our cobblers. So you can use however much you want. Some people like to only use a little bit so you can see the fruit once it bakes inside. But you know what? It's your party. For the crust, I start out with 2 cups of flour. Then I add a ½ teaspoon of salt. I use a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. And then I use 1 1/2 teaspoons of baking powder. About 6 tablespoons to ½ a cup of butter. So cut it up into cubes. That's gonna make this easier. And you wanna make sure it's cold. So the final part to this crust, you're gonna get a ½ cup of buttermilk, because this is a buttermilk crusted berry cobbler, honey. And in the South, buttermilk, anything bread and buttermilk, that's what you want. So it's guaranteed to be good. Flatten it out like a little pancake or something. And then you just place it on top of the berries. But when you have like these summer berries, it's so pretty. I like food that tastes great and looks as good as it tastes. Because let's be honest, sometimes if we see it before we eat it, we may not eat it. So All right, and there you have it. Look at that. I hope you've enjoyed making summer berry cobbler with me today. If you want to see more of my work and just enjoy all that you see and have any requests, you can find me on Facebook under Galadriel's Goods, and you can find me on Instagram. Thank you so much for joining me. Bon appetit!